All right, this is the part two to ranking every single drug I've ever tried, which there had to be a part two because I've done so many fucking drugs. Just that degenerate, okay? So we're just gonna continue with dissociatives. Um, this is an interesting class of drugs. I've only done three of these. Um, and these are all so different from each other. It's kind of fucking crazy, actually. The first one is ketamine, which I fucking love ketamine. I really do love ketamine. I love how like dreamy and magical it feels. Like I've always described it as like a magical sparkly alcohol. You know, like it feels like being drunk, but like you're all tingly and like fucking it just feels like you're like in a really dreamlike state. Um, and I really fuck with it. You know, I fuck with taking like really low doses and just like vibing with my friends. It's a really good party drug. It's a really good social drug. I've I've really grown fond of it, especially recently. However, okay, there's a big however. All right, doing this shit long term, not good. Okay, I've heard rumors of this shit fucking with people's dicks. All right, and that is not okay. All right, that is off limits. All right, I do not listen. I do not tolerate that at all. All right, that is a serious markdown from me. All right, you do not fuck with a man's dick. All right, you know, in the drug world. All right, I completely understand. All right, give me HPPD. That's fine. All right, give me constant nosebleeds because I'm railing this shit every day. Okay, K has given me nosebleeds. I have gotten countless nosebleeds from Ket because I used to not crush it down, and I was snorting straight shards. That's fine. Give me a nosebleed. All right, I deserve that. But fucking with my dick, dude. People literally listen. Okay, people literally like burn their dicks with this shit. Like if they do it long term, your dick will literally burn. It's like you have AIDS or some shit. Like this is just like rumors I've heard, all right? This is just shit I've heard here and there and there and here, okay? Um I don't even know anybody who's really like experienced that shit firsthand, but like dude, literally like awful. So awful, dude. A man's dick should be off limits, man. Like I really I take that seriously here in this ranking. Um, I mean, usually ketamine is all fun and games. I mean, it tastes pretty shitty. It feels awful. It hurts so bad until you're actually on it, and then railing it gets a lot easier. Um, I don't know. I think it's pretty fun, but dude, you cannot be making a habit out of this shit. I remember I made a habit out of it a couple weeks ago. I was on a pretty heavy ket binge, but I cut myself off because, dude, I knew damn well if I kept fucking binging ketamine, I am going to have dick burns. Okay, like I don't know exactly how that shit works. I don't know like what the exact symptoms are, but dude, oh my god, like yeah, that scared me straight. I didn't need any DMT to end my ketamine habit. Which I think that's also because ketamine isn't really all that addictive. I mean, I'm not saying that for sure. There might be some people out there who are raging ketamine addicts. I don't fucking know. I've never known someone like that. But I mean, dude, that is not a good drug to be addicted to because your dick is not gonna be. It's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be a fun time pissing. Okay, it's not gonna be a fun time coming. It's not gonna be a fun time pissing. And that's fucked. All right. I feel like every man should be entitled to having a fun time pissing and having a fun time coming. All right. Um, I just want to have fun pisses and fun comes. Okay. Just let me have that as a man. All right. And that is why I have to give ketamine a B tier. All right. It's very very fucking fun, and that is the only reason it's not lower. It is a very fun time. Um. Next up, we got PCP. PCP is y'all. PCP is fucking crazy. Um, I haven't done this shit in a hot minute. I remember the first time I did it was on Christmas Eve. Yeah, yeah. All y'all were out caroling and drinking hot chocolate and decorating your Christmas tree with your family. Oh, your good old boy was out doing fucking PCP with my friends. I told my parents I was going sledding, and I just went out and I did PCP, and I looked at the stars, and it was like there were swirls of fucking like, dude, I swear my mind was inventing like new fucking colors off the PCP. Dude, it was like a purplish greenish color. It was so weird, like the color waves I was seeing in the sky. It was like the fucking northern lights, but like not. um I remember it was kind of psychedelic, but I also just felt so fucking out of it. Like it felt like I was so dissociated and I couldn't stay on one thought. Like I was just like fucking teleporting. I was like teleporting through the experience. It felt like I was just like fucking like everywhere. It felt so chaotic. It was like a chaotic version of ketamine. And I also noticed there was a lot more stimulant properties to it. Like I never really understood why like PCP made people go fucking crazy and like fucking like invincible and shit. Like I never understood why people acted like that on PCP, because I always thought it was just kind of like ketamine. But then I did that shit and I realized that, dude, there's a dopamine boost. Okay, the ketamine doesn't really boost your dopamine all that much. It's not really like that. But PCP, whoo, that shit has an effect on your dopamine, dude. Your dopamine starts your brain starts pumping that dopamine out quite quick when you're off the PCP. Quite a bit too. It's very stimulating. It's very electrifying, but still at the same time very dissociative and very like what the fuck is happening right now. Very what the fuck is happening right now. Like so what the fuck is happening right now that you will not know what the fuck is happening right now. It's insane. I mean, it was fun, but like you also have to take into account that because of the dopamine boost, this shit is so incredibly addictive. Like this shit is literally like mixing like ketamine with meth, dude. Like that's how I describe it. It is so insanely addictive, and honestly, I feel like it's not even like it offers much more than ketamine does, to be quite honest. I mean, like, just do ketamine. There's no reason to be doing PCP. All right. D tier. All right. Next up, DXM. Oh boy, DXM. Listen, I way before I got my hands on actual drugs. All right, way before I got my hands on the real shit, I made quite the habit out of this. So much so that I kind of learned the in and outs of making it tolerable. First, I started to make the syrup a little bit less, fucking disgusting by chugging lemon juice after I would down the syrup. And I thought I was so smart, even though most of the time the guafenicin in the syrup would still make me vomit. Which, by the way, if you're going to do this shit, look at the active ingredients list and only do the shit that has or not dextroamphetamine. I wish it had dextroamphetamine. Fucking dextromethorphan. If you're going to do DXM, at least do the shit that's only DXM. Don't do the shit with Tylenol on it, you fucking dumbass. So, yeah, I used to know that, but I used to not really even care about the guafenicin. Later I found out that the guaifenicin actually makes you hella nauseous and makes you vomit. But I mean, that's just kind of whatever. That's, you know what, that's the side effect of a lot of drugs. Okay, so I was just like, whatever. I was okay with feeling like I had to fucking yak my guts up. Eventually I moved on to the RoboGels, which are like the little capsules. And I like those because I wouldn't get nauseous at all, and I would just be able to have a pure DXM experience, and I didn't have to chug any nasty ass syrup. But even then, even at the max efficiency DXM consumption I was at, it still wasn't like there's honestly still a nausea to it, even when you're just doing normal DXM. I feel like it still kind of made me nauseous. It wasn't really anything to write home about. I feel like it was a lot more psychedelic than the other dissociatives. Like people say that like robo tripping is kind of like other psychedelics, but I don't feel like it is. It's really faint, dude. Like the psychedelic effects of DXM are so fucking faint. Like they're there, but only if you like close your eyes and really focus, you know? And very rarely are they like open eye visuals. I feel like you don't really have a whole lot of open eye visuals. People say there's tracers. I don't see tracers at all. Like I never see fucking tracers, or I never saw fucking tracers. Sorry, I never saw fucking tracers when I used to be a fucking desperate enough fiend to do DXM. Like I never saw tracers. I really only just saw like all these like weird like funhouse pattern looking waves and shit when I closed my eyes. It just looked like there was like a fun house whenever I closed my eyes. Like I was inside a circus tent or some shit. It was just like, it was just such a whatever type of experience. I remember I would always like go into these altered states of consciousness where I would just like be thinking the weirdest shit. I would have like all these weird ideas about death. And I would just like have all these like weird ideas about like, oh man, like my body is so fragile. Like, dude, whenever I did a really high dosage of DXM, I felt like I was 100% gonna die, and I was like 100% convinced I was gonna die. Like it was so weird, but I was like okay with it too. It was so weird. Like it was so weird how this shit made me feel. It was so unlike anything else. That's what I will say. All right. It's not like I can really sit back and say, oh, well, you don't have to do DXM because you might as well do ketamine, or oh, you don't have to do DXM because you might as well do this, or like there's not really a drug that like you can just do instead of DXM, you know, like to at least to replicate the effects of DXM. Like if you've tried all the drugs and you're really into the experience of DXM, then there's not really anything else for you out there that would replicate it, because it's very unique. I'll give that to DXM. The DXM experience is very unique. It's very weird. It's not something that really appeals to me. It's kind of, I don't know, I feel like it just makes me sick. It makes me sick. It makes me kind of act fucking like weird. It just kind of makes me think weird things. It's not, dude, it's just kind of like a autistic version of psychedelics. It's like a special needs version of like acid, you know, but like not psychedelic. You know, it's kind of like I say it's like acid only because of the altered state of consciousness you're in. Like not because you see anything cool. You're not gonna really see anything cool on DXM. Like I really don't feel like you will. I mean, I guess I can only speak for myself here, but I don't feel like the psychedelic effects of DXM are really anything strong. Okay. I feel like it's just like a really autistic and unpredictable and weird fucking like just it's so weird. It's such a weird altered state of consciousness you're gonna be in, and you're gonna be hella dissociated, but it doesn't feel like a good dissociative experience like with ketamine where your whole body is tingling and it feels all like sparkly and shit. It's not like nice like that. It just feels like you're like it feels like you are not in your body, like, but not like an out of body experience like DMT. It feels like you're just like your brain isn't in your skull. Like it just feels like your body is empty and you're just like somewhere else, but you're like still there, and it's so fucking weird, dude. It like the experience on DXM is truly like no other. All right, that's what I will give. I will give DXM that. All right, the experience on DXM is truly like no other. It's very unique. It's very in its own lane. Um, so I mean, there's that. Okay, there's that to give it. I will say though, I mean, this shit's just not that fun. It's not really that great of a time. I used to mix it with amphetamines because I felt like that would like reduce the nausea, which I mean it did, but like I don't know, that would kind of just remove the altered state of consciousness. And now I'm just having the like really weak psychedelic effects alongside my Adderall geekage, and that's really all it felt like. So I mean, honestly, I guess fucking like I would say D tier just because of how like desperate it is. Like it's, dude, like you don't you don't need to be. I don't know. I'll do C tier actually. I feel like it deserves C tier. I don't really feel like I need to put like just the situation in which it's used. I don't feel like that really should determine its tier. I feel like just because of how unique it is, it at least deserves a C tier. But it's not something I would ever really choose to do. Especially now that I can get my hands on other shit. I'm probably never gonna be touching DXM again. Um, but yeah, it was a unique experience, so I can give it that at least. But yeah, that's the last of the dissociatives. All right, next up we got benzodiazepines. Okay, now we're getting into downers. So I feel like there's just not gonna be anything good for me to say about any of these. Um, yeah, I don't really fuck with downers. I have been addicted to both benzos and opioids before, but those were like my very first like months of drug usage. That's like shit that I got over pretty quickly and never went back to. Yeah, no. Benzos. I really just don't like. I feel like just doing benzos is so stupid, man. Like you don't remember shit. Like it's not like, dude, go do like psychedelics or like dissociatives or some shit. Like benzos are just like you want to be a lazy fuck? Like is that what you want? Because if you want to be a stupid lazy fuck, then I guess go right ahead, dude. Like I just feel like there's not a whole lot here to get out of benzos. And the thing is, they are so hard to quit that you cannot tell me it's worth it. You cannot tell me getting all sleepy and fucking like being a retard for a little bit is worth the addiction. Do you know how fucking hard it is to quit benzos? Like before before you ever pop your first Zan, okay? Take into consideration that literally people die from quitting benzos. Like that is how rough the withdrawals are. Sometimes the withdrawals last years because it is so fucking hard to quit. It is harder to quit than heroin. And that's not even like a subjective thing. It is objectively harder to quit than heroin. So you know what? Have fun quitting benzo. If you're gonna make a conscious decision to start fucking throwing all types of anxiety meds down your throat, have fun quitting. Okay, that's all I have to say to you, buddy. Um, that shit is so fucking hard to quit, like unbelievably hard to quit. I am very lucky I didn't get like really fucking addicted to benzos in particular. Like I'm lucky I was just more of a casual user and never really upped my dosage per day because dude, I was able to kind of taper myself off, but a lot of people are not able to do that. Like it is quitting benzos is very rough on a lot of people. Like it is truly just a fucked up scene, you know, quitting benzos. Um and I just, man, my heart goes out to people who are trying to get through that. Like it's so fucked. Um Truly a fuck scenario to be addicted to benzos. But yeah. Um Basically, I don't know. I guess let's go through and rate all these, even though I really don't fucking like all of them, and they're kind of all just like each other. Um, Flualprazolam. Flualprazolam is what I consider to be the highest quality of the benzos. Like if you're gonna do benzos, I mean, this is the highest quality. It's pretty strong shit. My friend used to buy it off the dark web. And I mean, it's a benzo. It's a benzo. I've done it a few times. I've popped it, and it felt pretty fucking nice. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and bullshit you. Benzos feel really nice. They do. They feel great. They for me personally, they make me feel like there's nothing to worry about. You know, it's just kind of like a feeling in my soul, like, oh, I'm gonna be okay. I'm turned the fuck up. I'm that guy. I'm gonna be all right. You know, that's kind of how it makes me feel. But the thing is, when you're on benzos, you're not that guy. You're a fucking retard. And I always have at least one thing I regret from my time being high on a benzo. And for that, even the highest quality benzo, I'm gonna have to give a C. It's only getting that high of a ranking because it is literally the best benzo. It's the highest quality. Next up, Adazolam. Adazolam, I've done, like, I think twice. Yeah, I've done Adazolam twice. And the only reason I would even, like, say it's, like, also one of the higher quality ones is because it feels kind of unique, you know? Like, the other ones are gonna blend into each other once I start going over them, but this one is kind of unique. This one, I feel like it made me feel a lot more, like, uplifted, you know? It made me feel a lot more, like, vibrant, and it made me feel a lot more social. Like, I did this shit, in Washington. This I haven't touched a whole lot of benzos since I've gone to Idaho. Like, the only benzo I did in Idaho is Fluaprazolam, the last one I talked about, and that was also after my breakup, which is also when I did crystal meth. So, yeah, that's kind of if that doesn't speak to how fucking desperate of a drug this is for me, I don't know what does. But yeah, I did Adazolam in Washington, and I remember I had, like, taken that shit, and I remember me and my friends went to McDonald's, and we just, like, stayed there for hours on end because we just, like, didn't want to leave because we were vibing hella hard. We were all on Adazolam, and we were just, like, stayed and, like, chilled in the McDonald's. And I remember we went in the fucking play place because we thought we were so funny and cool for going in the play place. And the employees looked at us like we were retarded. And you know why they looked at us like we were retarded? Because we were retarded. Who the fuck does benzos? I'm literally gonna be hating on benzos, like, full throttle this entire time that I'm talking about them. So fucking get used to it. Yeah, no. Adazolam, it did make me feel a lot more social. Almost like I like popped a K-pin, but with, like, a little bit of Molly on it. It's almost like kind of how it was, like a little, like, fleck of Molly got sprinkled onto my K-pin. That's kind of how it felt. But yeah, no, I played in a McDonald's play place off the Adazolam. Might make a video on that one. That was fucking retarded. I'm not gonna make a whole lot of videos on downers because I don't think they're fucking fun. And most of the time I did downers, I didn't do anything fun that I would even tell a story about, because that's what downers are. You do some stupid shit that isn't fun, and then you regret all the bullshit that you just wasted your time on the next day. Like, you really look back the next day and you're like, wow, I really, like, don't know why I did fucking Xanax yesterday. Or, oh wow, I don't know why I did Adazolam and played in a fucking McDonald's play place yesterday. Why the fuck did I do that? I look like a retard. I really hope no baddies saw me. Yeah, no, that's pretty much benzos summed up. But I need to stop talking about benzos, like, overall, and actually lock in on these specifics, okay? Adazolam, it made me feel more sociable, which is unique for benzos, so I'll give it a C tier, kind of like how I gave Fluaprazolam a C tier. Let's see here, Trizolam. Trizolam is also one of the ones where it's, like, it's very potent, you know, and nobody knows that. You know, everybody is always doing Xans, but Xans are not even the strongest shit you can do, okay? If you're gonna do benzos, at least do the high-quality shit, okay? At least do the pristine shit. That being the Trizolam. It's pretty much just like Xanax but stronger. I this one I actually I did for the first time for a surgery. But I also did it a few times after because I found that it hit pretty fucking different when I had my surgery. It was like, wow, this shit is fucking crazy. Um, but yeah, no, it's just like a stronger version of Xanax. Like, what is there to talk about here? Just because it's like slept on in the benzo community and nobody really does it, and it's just like, I don't know. I feel like it's not really like used like at all. I feel like I can be comfortable giving it a C tier because I feel like it is underrated. Like, yeah, it's a benzo, which means that it's shit. But even as a benzo, it's still underrated because people do Xanax, even though Xanax is weaker than this shit. Like, if you're gonna do benzos, at least go hard, dude. Like, do some trizolam. So I'm gonna have to give it a C tier. Which those are the only three benzos that are getting a C tier. Just a heads up here. Next up, Klonopin. This is the only benzo I've ever been addicted to. And I'm glad I didn't take it too far because holy shit, quitting Klonopin is really fucking awful. Just like all of these. It's pretty much, I would say, like the same strength as Xanax. It felt, I don't know, I think it felt like a lot less more like it like maybe it didn't make me as retarded. I feel like that like it didn't like put me on quite the level of retard that all the other benzos did. I feel like it still it still like gave me like that like like that like nice like relaxed feeling, right? But it didn't quite put me into as retarded of a state as the other benzos, which isn't really necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just kind of like whatever, you know. Like if I'm doing drugs, I don't mind being retarded necessarily. So it's not like that's like a positive. It's just kind of like a whatever. Klonopin is a D tier because it's a benzo and it's, dude, the risk reward. Think of the risk reward. Okay, like you're doing this shit so you can feel a little relaxed, dude. When you try and quit, you're gonna be having fucking seizures. Like, this is not worth it. This is not worth it. Take a long, hard look at yourself. Okay, this is not fucking worth it. Okay, choose a different hobby. Choose a different habit. Okay. Valium. Valium is, I think, a little weaker than Xanax. It's more of an old fashioned one. This is like the shit that like was more popular in like the '60s and shit. Like this is more of an older one. But yeah, it's just kind of like it's like whatever, dude. I've done it a few times. Nothing to write home about. It's just a downer. It's just kind of like same story as Xanax. Okay, fucking D tier. All right, actual Xanax. This shit's getting F tier, and the reason why it's getting F tier is because this shit is actually really commonly cut with fen. Like if you buy Xanax, the thing is if you get like Klonopins or like Valiums or Trizolam, especially from like the plug, chances are that shit's real because like they actually prescribe people like Klonopin. Like it's easier to get your hands on the other scripts than it is Xanax because Xanax has such a stigma around it where it's like, oh, people are asking for this prescription to abuse it, you know. Like that's the thing. Like doctors will never prescribe Xanax first if someone says they got anxiety, but they might prescribe Klonopin first. They might prescribe some other shit first. And that's why it's so much harder to get Xanax, and that is why it's so much more often cut. And you have to buy it off the dark web, and you have to buy presses, and it's got fat in it. So that's why Xanax is in F tier. All right, it's a lot more dangerous. It's a lot more riskier of a game, and even if you are getting straight Xanax, so fucking addictive, so incredibly addictive that like even if it wasn't for the fent, it would still be D tier. So add the fent, yeah, it's F tier now, buddy. That's how it works. And then let's see here, Ativan. Ativan is something that, I mean, it's pretty much like the same shit as these other ones. I feel like it's a lot shorter lasting. Like I feel like Klonopin's pretty long lasting. I feel like Xanax is kind of like the middle, and I feel like this is like the low end of like how long it lasts. And I feel like there's not really like anything to say about that. I mean, because it lasts such a short amount of time, it's pretty much like a cocaine if it gave benzo effects. Like literally, like it just like lasts such a short amount of time. Like it's just like whatever. Like I don't know. If you get addicted to this shit, you're kind of fucked. I'm not gonna lie. And because it doesn't last long, like I feel like this shit's just F tier too. Like it's if it doesn't last long, like you're just gonna be fiending for more, like really quick. Like that's a really expensive habit, dude, and that's just really fucked. You're gonna be eating Ativan all the fucking time. So yeah, this shit's also F tier. Probably a higher F than fucking Xanax though, because at least Ativan doesn't have the fent problem, at least in the same way. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for benzos. Pretty simple fucking category here. All of them suck. That's all you gotta know about these shits. Next up, my least favorite fucking category. I literally hate these from the bottom of my heart. Opioids. All right. Literally even more risk and even less reward than benzos. All right. You know how much I was just hating on benzos? Well, take that and double it for opioids. I fucking hate opioids, dude. I fucking hate them. Genuinely, like, let me tell y'all something about opioids, all right? Couple weeks ago, one of my friends hits me up, and he knows I have a Dexy plug, and he was like, "Yo, can I get some Dexys from you?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like, and like he's my friend, so I asked him. I was like, "Yo, how you been?" And he was like, "Oh, I'm good. I just did a shit ton of Vicodin today." I was like, "Excuse me?" I told him, I was like, "Excuse me? What the fuck did you say?" He was like, "Yeah, I did like fucking, I did like 4 Vicodin, and one of my friends did like nine because we like found him in my cabinet." I was like, "Okay, what the?" I was like actually shocked. You know, this is a kid I went to high school with, and I was like really like sad to hear that he like was like okay with doing that shit. And I knew he was a fiend. This kid is always fiending for drugs. He's always asking me for drugs. So I know he's a fiend, but dude, it broke my heart. And I told him, okay, listen, if you stay the fuck away from the opioids, I will like charge you less for the Dexies. Like genuinely, if you promise me you'll stay the fuck away from the opioids and never touch them again. And luckily, this was only a one-time thing. Like he only did it like on this particular day, so he was like down to like not touch opioids again. So I think I might have saved a life because opioids are fucking awful, okay? Like, people literally just, dude, people who abuse opioids are cucks, low key. Like, dude, like if you abuse benzos, you're kind of just a dumbass. But dude, if you abuse opioids, you're like a fucking cuck. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I know that makes me probably sound like intolerant to addicts, but dude, it's tough love, all right? Like, if you're addicted to opioids, you need to hear this shit. You're a cuck, buddy. You are literally sitting back while you watch heroin or whatever fucking opioid you're addicted to. You're sitting back and just watching it fuck your life. Like, literally. Like, it's such cuck shit. Dude, stop doing fucking opioids. You're a cuck if you do opioids. I'm sorry. Like, I don't respect you at all if you do opioids. Like, this shit is not, like, it's not a good habit to get into. Like, holy shit, you are so fucking your life up. Because you can literally drop dead tomorrow, bro. Like, that's just the reality of it. Like, if you're not already doing fent, which is kind of uncommon, you're gonna be doing fent pretty soon, and you're gonna die, dude. Like, I'm sorry. That's how it is. That's how the world is now. You can't be doing opioids anymore. And even back when they were safer, you still should. They've never been a good habit, dude. They've never been a good habit. All right, cut that shit out. Okay? Opioids are like the main reason all these rappers are dying young, okay? Like seriously. Juice WRLD, how did Juice WRLD die young? The perks, okay? The fucking perks are what got him. All right? Like how are people not noticing that all these celebrities are dying from opioids? Like these celebrities are dropping dead from opioid use. Like just don't fucking touch them. There's no reason to touch them. Like being high on opioids is not even as fun as being high on benzos, dude. Like you literally just knock the fuck out. Like literally, like the only benefit to opioids is that like if you like actually have like just got done with like a surgery, like they are really good at relieving pain, you know, like that's the only benefit. That is the only benefit. If you are not in pain, opioids do not even feel that good. Like they're not even that like, dude, like I understand. Like I've done my opioids. All right, my introduction to the drug world was being addicted to oxys. Okay, I've done opioids, and I've even been addicted to them. Okay, I too have been a cuck before. I too have been there, and I understand the appeal. I get it. I do understand it, but I still am not willing to say I understand it as much as even a benzo user. Okay. Um, all the opioids I've ever done have just been like whatever, like they've been mid. Okay, like, and this is something I've heard a lot. Like even like people who do heroin, people who have tried heroin, like the first thing they think is how are people addicted to this shit, and then they do it again, and that's how they're addicted to it. It's not that it feels all that great. It's that they just choose to do it again because it rewires your brain like that. And yeah, I've heard heroin does feel fucking amazing. I've heard it feels fucking phenomenal, but like still, like it's still not even anything to like to write home about, man. I'll say that again and again, dude. I only do drugs if I'm gonna be writing home about them, dude. I'm just kidding, by the way. I couldn't write home about drugs if it was in my wildest dreams because my parents would kill me if they found out I did drugs. Um, but yeah, opioids are literally not fun. You don't have a fun time on opioids. You don't go out and do fun shit on opioids. You don't learn anything on opioids. You don't cure your fucking PTSD on opioids. There is no benefit to doing opioids. Stay the fuck away from opioids, okay? Literally the worst class of drugs, literally the most cuckish class of drugs, okay? Like, dude, if you do opioids, cut that shit the fuck out, okay? And I know that it's a lot harder than that. I know it's a lot more difficult than that, but holy hell, get some help because you could choose so many different drugs to be addicted to. And of course, I'm not suggesting anything. I'm not suggesting anything here, but I'll just say this. If my kid came up to me and said, "Dad, I'm addicted to crack," I would be heartbroken. I would be pretty concerned. I would be pretty worried. All right, but if my kid came up to me and said, "Dad, I'm addicted to oxycodone," I honestly would be a lot more worried than in the crack situation. Um, and that's all I'll say about that. All right, now let's rank these shitty ass fucking excuses of drugs here. First off, oxymorphone. All right, now listen. Nobody really knows about this, but this is actually the strongest prescription opioid. Okay, this is stronger than oxycodone. You know, people always talk about, oh, oxys are the strongest. Oxycodone is the strongest opioid. No, it's not. Okay, oxymorphone is the strongest opioid. Y'all retard cucks are out here doing fucking opioids, and you don't even know what the strongest one is. Y'all ain't even getting the top of the shelf shit. Wow, what losers. Opana is what it's called. It's prescribed under the brand name Opana. I actually don't know if they still even prescribe this shit. I doubt they do. But yeah, oxymorphone is the strongest opioid. I've done it a few times. I did it in high school and back in Washington. I haven't touched opioids since I've been up here in Idaho. So, and I'm really thankful for that. I've never gone back because there's no reason for me to go back. Like, dude, if someone literally offered me like a bag of fucking oxys in the street, even though I've been addicted to them before, it wouldn't even tempt me slightly. I would slap that bag out of their hand and fucking piss in their face, dude. Like, dude, absolute bullshit. All right. And all I can say is Opana did feel the best out of all the opioids I did. I'll say that much, okay? Opana, it felt the best. And, I mean, it also doesn't, I mean, I gotta say, it hasn't led to as many deaths because it's not as popular. So I guess I can give it a D tier. That's the best that it gets for opioids. Oxycodone. Got addicted to this one. It's the first drug I ever did. Little stupid 14-year-old me digging through my parents' medicine cabinet. Popped me an oxycodone. Felt pretty good. I wasn't really used to any type of euphoria from any drugs other than opioids at this point. So I didn't really know how much better it can get, and that's why I got hooked on this shit. And I eventually ran out of them. Thank God I ran out of them. And I mean, the withdrawals were pretty shitty. Probably not as shitty as hardcore benzo withdrawals, but they were pretty shitty. I had a pretty shitty 2 weeks. Felt like the insides of my bones were fucking hurting. Oxy is the most commonly laced opioid, too. These shits are the most commonly laced with fent. And they're not even fun when they aren't laced with fent, okay? There's no reason to do oxycodone. F tier, all right? Don't do fucking oxycodone. Codeine. This is the shit that's in lean. I mean, dude, it's fucking, it's an opioid. Like, that's all I can really say about it. Like, I've drank my lean. I've drank my fair share of lean. It's I don't know. It does feel different than other opioids. I feel like there's a lot more of like an ego thing with codeine. I feel like a lot more than just pain relief. I kind of felt like I was the shit. I felt like I was like vibing to the music, and I felt like I was like the shit. I feel like I was that guy, but I definitely wasn't because I was doing opioids. And dude, I'm just like I'm gonna completely ignore what the fuck I just said because it doesn't matter. This is an opioid, and it's literally like, dude, even though it was different, it still wasn't. It's not like it felt any better. It's not like it was any more fun because it was different. It was just different. Like, it's still just as bad. It's a fucking opioid, dude. Like, F tier, man, F tier. Um, let's see here, hydrocodone. This shit is literally just a weak version of Oxy, and it also gets laced with fent pretty often. I've used these like a couple times too. Nothing to write home about, nothing to enjoy out of these. Just stay the fuck away from them. This is what my friend did when he called me, and I told him, don't touch that shit again, buddy. F tier. Let's see. Morphine. Morphine. Morphine is some shit that I've only gotten in the hospital, and it was all right. It relieved my pain, I guess. I I don't have anything to say about these. Like, I really don't. I don't have anything to say about these. People are getting addicted to them. People are dying from them. People are fucking overdosing. I would say morphine hasn't caused a whole lot of harm itself. And it's mostly just used in medical contexts. But this isn't ranking it based off medical context. Okay, this is ranking it based off of abusing it. And abusing morphine is just as bad as all the other shit I've mentioned. So morphine is an F tier. Tramadol. Tramadol is weak as fuck, and that's why it's prescribed for dogs. But I was once a fiend, and I was once desperate enough. Me and my friends were once desperate enough to take his dog's Tramadol. And what happened? Barely fucking anything. We barely felt anything. We sat and we watched South Park while fucking feeling like a slight buzz. Literally. Like, we would have been more off our asses if we were like just like gumming Zins, dude. Like it was literally fucking nothing. Like F tier. And that is all I have to say about opioids. Mostly all F tier, except for literally oxymorphone, and that's because it's slept on. And that's pretty much it. All right. Cannabis. Not really a preferred or a preferred category of mine. Not really something I really enjoy all that much. But hey, it's better than opioids. I mean, after ranking all those opioids, I kind of feel like being a lot more generous to these cannabis entries. I've tried 3 different types of cannabis, 3 different ingestion routes, I guess you could say. All of these are technically THC, but they are very different. Concentrates. I've taken a couple dabs here and there in my time. I only really smoke weed socially. And I found myself doing it less and less over the years, even socially. But back in high school, I remember the first time I took a dab, it was actually really fire. Like it was actually pretty good. It was a nice high. It was pretty powerful. It actually felt like it had a kick, unlike normal weed. But I mean, it's still just like I don't know, being stoned just isn't like that. Like it's not all that, you know. Like it's just like there's just so much better out there, dude. Like there's just so much more like crazy experiences to be had, and there's so much more that just blows my mind. And it's just like weed is just kind of like it's like the default skin in Fortnite, you know? It's like the dude, it's like getting plain white rice at Panda Express. It's just like it's meh, dude. It's fucking meh, okay? And I do like the come up of concentrates though. Like the come up was actually pretty fucking glorious, dude. When I smoke concentrates, and I have to respect that. So I'll give it like a B. I'll give it a B. I think B is as good as cannabis gets. Flower gets a C. It's pretty much just the same shit I said about concentrates, you know, just the meh type of high, but without the kick, you know, it's just kind of like, oh, I'm stoned. Cool. What next? Can we do some fucking acid? Or can we do some fucking Molly? Like, can we do some fun shit now? Like, I'm stoned. Like, is that it? Like, is that all we're doing? Like, why did I come here again? Like, oh man, I'm such a hater, dude. I'm such a fucking dude. I know this is a hot take. I know this is the hottest fucking take on the planet. Like I know like there's a million motherfuckers out there who would hear this and say, "You're retarded. You don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. You have Down syndrome." Who let this motherfucker out the special ed room and let him make a video on drugs? Who is this kid? Get him the fuck off my feet. Like I know that there's a million people out there who would have just as much hate for me right now as I do for opioids. I get it, okay? But I'm sorry, okay? Like when you spend your entire fucking teenage years doing shit like acid and Molly, like weed just isn't all that, okay? Weed just kind of falls behind. Weed isn't really that cool anymore. It's just like there's better shit to be doing with my time. Like I'm sorry, dude. Like I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. I'm tapped into a higher wavelength. Okay? I'm sorry I don't like being a lazy fuck all day. Also, I'm not hating on anyone who's a stoner. Let me make that clear. Like, I got plenty of friends who are stoners. This right now, all the hating I'm doing right now is mostly jokes because I know weed is completely harmless and it doesn't kill anybody. So, like, I don't actually have, like, a real reason to hate on weed. I'm just kind of, like, fucking with y'all. Okay, edibles. Edibles... Okay, I think edibles are the worst way, personally, to get stoned. I think that these... I don't know if this is something that everybody experiences, but these shits make me hella nauseous. I've done edibles on multiple occasions, even more than I've smoked concentrates. I've done gummies, I've eaten brownies, I've eaten cookies, I had a friend in high school who was really into making edibles, and his mom caught him making edibles all the fucking time. He got in trouble for making edibles all the fucking time. But he would like bring edibles to school. That was like his method to get high at school. And I just remember like all these times I would like buy edibles from him at school just because I wanted to get fucking zooted and sent. And this was early on into my drug usage, so I like hadn't discovered the better shit yet. And so I was just like so desperate to get high that I would buy this kid's edibles. And then what am I doing 2 periods later? I'm throwing up in the fucking toilet because that shit is way too strong. That shit is way too strong. And even when weed is strong, it doesn't feel that good, dude. It just makes me nauseous, okay? Even if you gave me the strongest fucking weed on the planet, dude, it's like it's whatever, dude. It's whatever. Edibles D tier. All right. Let's see here. All right. Next up, we just got like the miscellaneous category. All right. I'll try and get through these pretty quick. They're kind of lame. Nicotine. I don't even really know why I have this on here. It's barely even a drug. It just kind of gives you a buzz. I'm a nicotine user. I use Zins. I used to be addicted to smoking. Thank God I quit that. It is pretty addictive. Smoking is pretty addictive, but I think that's just because of the act of smoking. Like, I literally think that's just, like, something with, like, inhaling the fucking smoke. And I think that's the same reason people get addicted to vaping. Because now I'm a Zyn user, and I don't feel like it's possible to get addicted to Zins. Like, dude, if you get addicted to Zins, bro, you just need to put down the nicotine and just opt out of fucking nicotine in general, dude. Don't fucking touch nicotine if you manage to get addicted to Zins. I don't see how you could. I personally, I've gone several periods of my life, just like not using Zins and then using them again and then not using them. Like I've gone on and off, and it's like I've never had withdrawals at all. Like I don't know. I don't feel like Zins are addictive. I literally forget them when I leave the house all the time, and it's like whatever. Like I literally forget to use them for days at a time. Like I don't like I only really use them when I like go out and like I'm listening to music on a walk or whatever. I do think they're really useful to like pass by class though. I think they're useful to like just enhance like my walks and like make me feel like kind of like vibey and fucking like I don't know. They put me in a kind of like a social mood. I think nicotine is pretty cool if you use it in a way that's not addictive. Don't smoke. First of all, you're gonna smell like ass, and second of all, is actually addictive if you're smoking or vaping too. Don't vape. But if you're using Zins, I mean, I think that nicotine can actually be like considered a pretty high tier here. All right. But the thing is, that's not how most people consume nicotine. And there's a lot of people who are addicted because of that. And because of that, I feel like I have to put it in like a B. I think it's a B. Next up, alcohol. Alcohol is not fun. Okay. And that's just my opinion. I don't feel like, I mean, socially, I can understand the appeal, kinda. But like I said with weed, like I would so much rather do Molly or like acid or dude, even ketamine. Like I said, dude, ketamine is like a sparkly magical alcohol. I would much rather do ketamine than alcohol. Because alcohol, all I get is like the retardation of ketamine, but without any of like the like magic of it. So, I mean, I would never choose alcohol. This shit causes so many drunk driving accidents, dude. Like, dude, this shit has killed so many fucking people, and yet we still keep it legal. And yet, fucking shrooms and DMT and all the really useful shit, all the really helpful shit is still illegal. And just because I'm fucking pissed that that's the reality we live in, I'm giving alcohol an F tier. Like, genuinely. Which, I mean, I feel like that's also fair for me because I never use it. Like, I mean, you also have to take into account, dude, there's people who literally, there's countless alcoholic stepfathers who go home every night and beat their fucking wife and kids. Like, alcohol is not good for society at all, dude. Like, you can't convince me it is, okay? Like, alcohol does not deserve to be legal. Shrooms do, okay? Fix it up, society. Alcohol is not good for us, bro. Like, be so for real. Stop bullshitting, all right? Alcohol has never helped anyone, all right? Sorry. Had to say it. Had to say it. Have to continue to say it. Next, okay, we just got a whole bunch of drugs that aren't worth shit. Ambien. I did this shit once. Apparently, when you stay up, it's supposed to feel really fucking good. Kind of like Quaaludes, which I've never tried because I'm not a 70-year-old. It really wasn't anything. It wasn't anything. It didn't feel like shit. It didn't feel like anything. It just kind of felt like weird, and it felt like I was just like it almost felt like a dissociative version of benzos. Like it felt like kind of felt like I was on like K-pins, but like with like a dash of like some type of fucking dissociative, like DXM or some shit. Like not even like a fun dissociative like ketamine. Like it felt like just like I was like out of it. Like that's all it really felt like. D tier. Let's see here. Galaxy Gas, F tier. This shit, I'm ashamed to admit I've taken a hit of Galaxy Gas before. Awful idea. If you get addicted to this, you will literally kill your brain cells at record paces. At a record pace. Sorry, record paces. What the fuck am I talking? A record pace. You will kill your brain cells at a record pace. Yeah, not a good idea at all. This shit is so bad for you. So incredibly bad for you. So stupid. Like, don't fucking do this shit, dude. Like, it's such a useless thing. Like, you don't need to get high on Galaxy Gas, okay? You don't need to. You cannot convince me there is a reason that anybody need to be touching this shit. You cannot convince me there's a reason, all right? Like, there's no reason to be doing this shit. There's no fucking reason. With other drugs, there are reasons, okay? With Molly, maybe I want to get bitches, okay? Maybe I want to make myself more charismatic, and maybe I want to go into the fucking club, and I want to get some pussy, okay? Like, maybe that's my reason. With acid, maybe I want to make a song, and I want to create a vision, okay? With fucking ketamine, maybe I just want to chill with my homies, and I want to feel nice and tingly while I eat pizza and have retarded conversations. Okay, there are reasons I can say that I want to do other drugs. If you use Galaxy Gas, I challenge you to give me one good fucking reason why you would ever get high on Galaxy Gas. Like, give me one good reason. And I will wait, dude. If you can give me one good reason, I will, dude. I'll give it to you. I will give it to you. In fact, if you give me one good reason, I will remake this entire fucking video and give Galaxy Gas an S tier. All right, give me one good fucking reason. Anyways, Lyrica, both Lyrica and Neurontin feel exactly the same, so I'll rank them kind of like together. These shits, kind of weird. They're kind of like weird drugs. They're like GABA analogs, I think is what the class of drugs is called. I've done these shits. I had like a schizophrenic friend with a bunch of fucking like mental health shit who went to prison last year. And he gave me these shits one time. It was like the night after we did Adderall, actually. Which I haven't told that story yet, but I will at some point. And he gave me these shits just because he was like, he had given me Adderall, but then he was like, dude, he used to be a meth addict, so he was an amphetamine fiend, okay? So he was like, dude, if you give me back that Adderall, I'll trade you for like all my fucking, all these pills. And he like showed me like this shit, and he told me you can get really fucked up off of it. I was like, all right, whatever. Because I was just into trying, like, new shit, you know? I was just trying to, like, oh, like, if I'm giving up 2 Adderalls for all these pills, like, I can try some new shit, you know? So I did, fucking, Lyrica the first day. I did some Lyrica, and, the, it was like, so basically the day after this, right, I'd gotten a really bad fever, and I was in bed all day, and dude, I got up and I threw these shits down the hatch, I threw like 6 of them down the hatch after being sick, and it cured my sickness. It, for the time I was high, it felt like I wasn't sick. I don't mean it cured my sickness, like it like actually cured it. But like for the time I was high, it felt like I wasn't sick, and I like went on a walk, and I felt like I like had like fucking superpowers. But it also made me hella hungry. Like I got home and I fucking like, dude, I downed a shit ton of like those like what is it called? Like the fucking like it's like the Pop Tarts that you put in the fucking air fryer. Like it's like kind of like Pop Tarts, but it's like, dude, I don't know why I'm trying to explain the food I ate. I ate food, okay? I ate food off the Lyrica, all right? But he had also given me this shit called Neurontin. Because this was a shit he was prescribed last month, and he had some excess, and he had just got newly prescribed Lyricas. But last month he was on Neurontin, and so he gave me some of his old script too, his Neurontins, and I like tried those the day after, and nothing happened, right? Because I was already kind of recovering from my sickness, so I didn't like notice that I was like feeling better in any type of way. I just kind of like felt hungry again. And then I downed like fucking 3 bowls of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and puked my fucking guts up because I have a sensitive ass stomach. So yeah, no, that's my experience with these two, and I mean, it's nothing to write home about, dude. Like, I literally just got hella hungry. Like, yeah, Lyrica kind of made me feel like I had like a superpower, but that's just because I was sick. And these shits give you kind of like energy and like relieve like body pain. That's like what they're prescribed for. So I don't know. I guess just like fucking C tier, for both of them. Olanzapine. Olanzapine ain't shit. This is another drug that same friend gave me. And yeah, no, I actually forgot to mention this shit. He gave me these alongside the other ones, but it wasn't the same thing at all. He said so. Olanzapine is like an antipsychotic, and he said that it kind of felt like Xanax, which is bullshit. It didn't feel like Xanax. It did make me sleepy, but the only thing I noticed in terms of, you know, the high before I just absolutely got knocked the fuck out off this shit is that I kind of felt like cloudy. I kind of felt like really like cloudy, almost like I was like on like some type of like dissociative, like I just couldn't keep track of my thoughts. And then I was just like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. This is weird. And I just knocked out. And that's all that happened. Yeah. Olanzapine's kind of boring as fuck. It's just like whatever. I guess D tier. Um, yeah. Let's see here. Actually, it doesn't make sense for me to give Olanzapine D tier and the other one C tier. I feel okay. Yeah, I feel like D tier and below. I feel like is like kind of like for like either drugs that are harmful or drugs that I've had shitty experiences on. So I'll give this shit a C tier. It's just mid. I'll give it a C tier. And actually, yeah, no, edibles are also in D tier because I've got hella nauseous on them. Okay. Wellbutrin. Wellbutrin is F tier. And that is because I had a really really awful experience on this. And I've talked about my only experience on Wellbutrin before. I really don't like this shit. I have a hatred for this shit. It's so awful. Like, dude, like, just like, it's so useless. Like, at least with the Olanzapine and the Neurontin and the Lyrica, it was just kind of like mid, you know? At least, like, if we're talking about, like, drugs that don't do anything, at least these were just kind of mid. This actually was unenjoyable, dude. Like, all it did was spike the fuck out of my heart rate and make me have an HPPD panic attack and think that there were spiders in my sheets. And then it mixed awful with my acid and fucking ruined my acid trip. Like, dude, I have beef with Wellbutrin, dude. This shit is an F tier, okay? Like, yeah, no. Do not recommend any of these drugs for legal reasons, but I definitely don't recommend Wellbutrin. Holy shit, don't do Wellbutrin. No matter who tells you that it's like cocaine, it's not. It's not like cocaine. It's not like cocaine. It's not like amphetamines. It is just like you just ran a fucking marathon. That's what it feels like. So, yeah. But yeah, this is my drug tier list, ladies and gentlemen. That was the last shit. Wellbutrin was the last shit on there. Pretty pretty fairly ranked, I'd say, at least in terms of my opinions. I know everybody has their different takes on these drugs, but I think that just by my own criteria and by my own standards, I feel like I rank these pretty well. If I do enough like different drugs and try enough new drugs, I might like update it in the future and like make a second video. But yeah, this is pretty much it for now. This is the drug tier list. The drugs I've tried tier list. So yeah, that's pretty much it.